A 1-4 start is not a death sentence for an NFL team, but it's also not something to be real proud of. 12,000 runners went out and ran 26.2 miles apiece. That means a total of 314,000 miles were run today, or roughly 12.5 trips around the earth. Just think about that next time you get winded walking from the couch to the fridge. The little brown jug will be on the line next week as the Gophers travel to Michigan, and that's a trophy Minnesota hasn't won since 2005. The fans weren't so much frustrated with the Vikings as they were just completely indifferent to them. It's like your mother used to say, "I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed." If you take away Iowa, Illinois, and Purdue, the Gopher football team is really bad against the Big Ten. There was a college game here last night, and it rained the better part of the game today, and what you end up with is this: mud and chewed up ground all over the place. If the Broncos lose, it would be their 5th Super Bowl loss, and that would knock the Vikings out of the top spot for most losses in Super Bowl history. Now, if you're looking for some sort of good sign, how about this? The last NCAA tournament game the Gophers played in Texas was in 1997. That was in San Antonio, and they won the Midwest region to advance to the Final Four. Their opponent in that game? UCLA. So, Dave, there's your good omen for the night. I don't know what it means, but I'm going with it. Look at any list of the top Twins prospects, and Byron Buxton's name will be near the top of that list. Why is a 19-year-old with only 90 games of experience so highly rated?
He can really run, so he can change the game on the bases. He can change the game in the outfield. He's going to be a great defensive player. He can really swing the bat. He's got a great swing. He has power. He's going to be an exciting player to watch.
He's been everything you can imagine, you know, especially in the 2nd overall pick, and with the spotlight that's on him, how he's handling that, and how he's been performing to this point. I don't think he could have started any better than he started.
I just got a lot of passion for baseball. This was one of my dreams when I was small, and I just needed an opportunity to come out and prove what I can do.
Buxton split time last year between the Twins' Gulf Coast League and Rookie League teams. This year, even though he's moved up a class, he's already got better numbers in every statistical category.
Just been plate discipline, seeing the ball real well, hitting it hard, and just getting on base.
He's improved a lot since last fall, and I think that's just indicative of the kind of worker he is and how fast he can pick things up.
At this point last year, Byron Buxton was just a high schooler in Georgia. And while he does still have a lot to work on, many people are already asking the question, when will we see him at Target Field?
I'm trying to make my way up there as quick as possible. I know I still got to get that experience here and get my plate discipline and be patient and all that. Still got to put in work in my defensive work, so time will come when I get up there.
Playing in the Midwest League is a long ways away from the major leagues, and he has a lot to learn before he can play up here and be successful.
This is the real world up there. It's a man's game when you get to the pros, and you got to make sure you're ready and experienced for what's about to happen.
Nice catch, baby. Let it go.
I'm just out here having fun, playing the game I love.
When you think of the greatest players in Timberwolves history, names like Garnett and Love are at the top of the list. Tony Campbell may not be a household name, but what he did in his short time here ranks him up there with some of the best in team history.
Tony Campbell!
Tony Campbell won an NBA title with the Lakers in 1988. Just over a year later, he signed with the expansion Timberwolves.
We have our work cut out for us, and that a lot of people don't believe that we will do this or do that, but I want to prove a lot of people wrong.
Turned around by Campbell.
Up until coming to the Timberwolves, I was a role player. So when I was told that I was going to be a Timberwolf, it was awesome. Yes, it was totally different from Los Angeles, though. But by the same time, though, it was Los Angeles to me, though, because this was showtime for me.
In his first game in Minnesota, Campbell held his own against Michael Jordan.
That's what you like to see Tony Campbell do.
Then 2 days later, he outscored Charles Barkley.
Campbell running right into his court.
When we played Michael Jordan, we knew our work was cut out for us. When we played the Sixers, they were established. We felt like we always had to make a name for ourselves. And I think with those first games, playing against those guys, though. We went out to do that.
Campbell is still 6th on the Wolves' career scoring list, and in his 3 seasons here, he averaged 20.6 points per game, a 1/10 of a point better than Kevin Garnett averaged in his time with the Wolves.
To just be even mentioned, with Kevin Garnett, I think it's awesome because he is such an outstanding player.
And while it's been almost 25 years since he first came to Minnesota, the memories haven't faded at all.
It seems like it was yesterday, and then someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, it's been 25 years.
This has been a long time coming. Gophers haven't been able to play a lot of games here over the last few years, but thanks to a lot of donors, they raised $7.5 million for this beautiful new stadium, and now the team is back here on campus. This is what Siebert Field was 8 months ago, and this is what it is today. Over the summer, it was an emotional experience as the team said goodbye to the old stadium.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. And I walked out here this morning.
And while there were still tears today,
Rob, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for this program.
There was also a lot of joy.
L-I-N-N-E-S-O-T-A. For now, we got a beautiful place to play and for people to come out and watch college baseball, and we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, it's come together better than I thought. Even when you work with the architects and you have a vision, you put it on paper, you're really not sure. But it's come together better than I ever dreamt it would.
This new stadium has been years in the making, and with it, the Gophers now have a place to call their own.
You're going to have a team, you need a place to play. The Metrodome served its purpose to help this club, but I'm really, really glad that the University baseball team has a place they can call their own.
As far as I'm concerned, this can't do anything but do the utmost to promote it. I mean, it's a great facility. They can play here. Basically year-round as long as there isn't snow on it.
Should help with recruiting as well, having a new stadium and with the whole arms race and especially the Big Ten conference fields. But it's going to be awesome having, our own field actually.
And this new stadium is not only great for the current team, but for all future Gophers as well.
I wanted to make sure when my career ended, whenever that was, I hoped I could leave the program in somewhat better shape than I found it. And at least now we have a new facility, and I think a facility that's going to allow this program to have success for decades to come.
The Wild have been on the road for the last week, and this trip has been an offensive nightmare for the team. In the first 3 games of this road trip, the Wild have scored a total of 4 goals, and it's a big reason why they've lost 2 out of 3. Tonight, they were back on the road playing Florida. Scoreless in the second, Wild on the power play. Danny Heatley just kind of throws it out front. Jonas Brodin slap shot, goal. 3rd of the year, Wild take a 1-0 lead. Same score now in the 3rd period. Panthers now on the power play. Tomas Fleischmann finds Alexander Barkov for the one-timer. Panthers tie the game at 1. Stays that way, so we go to the shootout. Brad Boyes with a chance to end it. Just flicks it past Josh Harding. That'll do it. Wild lose their 3rd straight. They fall 2-1 tonight in the shootout. Gopher men's hockey team hasn't had any trouble putting the puck in the net this year. In their first 3 games, they're averaging 5 goals a game, so it should come as no surprise they're 3-0. They kept rolling tonight as they played Bemidji State. Game tied at 1 in the second. Beavers turn it over in their own end. Shot from Justin Kloos off the boards right to Taylor Camerata in front. Just taps it in. First college goal puts the Gophers up 2-1. Later in the period, this is great. Hudson Fasching, great move. Fakes up the defender, hits Sam Warning, redirects it in the net. Pretty goal, makes it 3-1. And they weren't done with the fancy plays. Now in the third, more pretty passing. Nate Condon to Kloos for the goal. Gophers finish off the sweep of Bemidji State 5-1. Your final. Gopher women try to keep their winning streak alive tonight in Duluth. Second period, Hannah Brandt is stopped. Danny Cameronisi finally puts it in the net. That gives the Gophers a 4-1 lead, and they would not take their foot off the gas. Early in the third, Cameronisi's shot deflects to Kelly Terry. She finishes with the goal. Winning streak continues. It's now 55 games. Gophers beat UMD 6-3. After opening the season with 4 straight wins, the Gopher football team has struggled in Big Ten play. They've lost to Iowa and Michigan, and with games still remaining against Nebraska, Michigan State, and Wisconsin, just to name a few, the season could be slipping away. They tried to snap that slide today at Northwestern. Tracy Clay is acting as head coach in Jerry Kill's absence. Northwestern strikes first. 3-yard touchdown run by Stephen Buckley gives the Wildcats an early 7-0 lead. Gophers get the offense going, though. Philip Nelson to Derek Engel. 29-yard touchdown ties the game at 7 at the half. And how about this? Coach Kill making a surprise appearance at the game. Talked to the team at halftime. Watched the rest of it from the coach's box. Team played well for him in the second half. Quarterback Trevor Simeon picked off by James Manuel. He returns it for the touchdown. Gives Minnesota a 14-7 lead. Defense not done. Very next play for Northwestern. Simeon sacked by Thieron Cochran. Gophers recover the fumble. They hang on to beat Northwestern 20-17. A big win that helps get this season back on track.
You know, you'd like to win Big Ten games. I mean, that's what it's all about, and you want to get to a position where you can compete for a Big Ten championship. And, you know, we lost a Big Ten game at home, and we had to find a way to win one on the road, and our kids stepped up and competed, and we found a way to get a Big Ten win on the road, and that's not easy to do.
Michigan played Indiana today. These two teams put up video game numbers. Indiana scored 47 points, had 572 yards of offense, and lost. Listen to the numbers for Michigan. Devin Gardner, the quarterback, threw for a school record 503 yards. As a team, they set a school record with 751 yards of offense. And that guy, wide receiver Jeremy Gallen, a Big Ten record, 369 receiving yards. All of that adds up to a 63-47 win for the Wolverines. A little closer to home, big MIAC game this afternoon. St. Thomas at Bethel. Royals get going in the second. Marshall Klitsky 2-yard touchdown dive. Bethel up 7-0. Not done in the second. Going to the air this time. Eric Peterson to Jay Hilbrand's 15-yard touchdown. Bethel up 14-0 at the half. Tommies would fight back though. Now tied at 14. Jack Kaiser gets in for the touchdown. But Bethel strikes late. They score with 40 seconds to play. That's the difference. Royals stay undefeated on the season, beating the Tommies 28-21. Finally, Game 6 of the ALCS going on right now. A must-win game for the Tigers tonight. They were up 2-1 until moments ago. Shane Victorino, a grand slam in the 7th inning. Boston now up 5-2. If they win, series is over. They would play the Cardinals in the World Series starting on Wednesday. We'll see. Almost there. A couple more innings.
A lot of partying tonight in Boston if they pull it through.
That's a fun place to be.